The earliest Winchester rifles were really chambered for what we would call pistol cartridges today. One of the first was the 4440 Winchester. It was one of the first cartridges to bear the Winchester name. Today in Oxford, Mississippi, Winchester makes literally millions and millions of Centerfire pistol cartridges right behind me.
Here at our Oxford, Mississippi location, we produce the whole gambit of Centerfire pistol and revolver ammunition, from everything from 25 auto all the way up to 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum and everything in between.
So we really cover all the possible pistol cartridges that are out there, but we really focus our manufacturing efforts in the most popular. Your 9mm Luger, 9mm NATO, 40 S&W, 45 auto, as well as 38 Special and 380.
What sets Winchester's brand apart from others is the fact that we've been around 150 years. We've been around long enough to say that for all the things that have made America great, we've been involved with. But that's not something that we just rest on. We feel like we have to continue to innovate ourselves with new products and technologies to keep up with the many generations that we've had to serve. And that's our commitment that we'll continue to make sure our brand sets itself apart from others.
The input of our materials that go into our products is something we take very seriously. We monitor that quality throughout. We have a lot of quality checks on the products that we bring in to manufacture our products. We continue to monitor those all the way through, and they need to meet or exceed our specifications or we're not going to put them in our products. We don't want to disappoint any of our customers. We want to make sure they always have a great experience with our brand.
Winchester is not about legacy and 150 years alone. We also do a lot of really exciting new products, and one of those is USA Forge, where Winchester became one of the first U.S. manufacturers of steel shell case technology. And you know, that steel shell case 9mm product is built specifically to lower the overall loaded round cost for our consumers and kind of pass those savings along so we can all go out to the range more. I mean, I love to shoot just as much as the next guy and head out to the range, and I like that being easier on my pocketbook. So USA Forge is one of those products that we really are proud of because we put that technology to use to make it easier for our customers to go out there and shoot. Some of our other technologies like Defender, where we've taken law enforcement grade bonded bullets and put them in a commercially available product that's great for concealed carry or personal defense or home defense. You know, that's a product that's available across many calibers and really puts cutting edge technology in our consumers' hands. Our super clean lineup of totally lead-free products is a great way to give the shooter who goes to indoor ranges a 100% lead-free product. You know, there's no lead in that bullet, there's no lead in the primer, so there's no airborne lead out there, and you know, that's becoming very important as indoor ranges become more popular here in the U.S. You know, here at Winchester, I think what separates us from some other ammunition manufacturers is we're really start to finish. As you can see in our plant, you know, we bring in raw materials and we control those materials very closely. A lot of specifications in play there, and we make sure that we get top-notch materials going in, and then we control that from start to finish. So because we control all those processes, that's why here at Winchester we feel that we're building the best ammunition out there.
So the process for producing Centerfire handgun cartridges all starts with the receipt of our raw materials. So our raw materials come in at our receiving location, whether it be cups, brass strip, or bullet jacket cups. In addition, we receive raw materials in the form of lead and propellant. From there, to produce a shell case, we take the shell case cup that we've received and we anneal it. After that annealing process, it would go through our draw operations, and that's where we're actually elongating the brass, reducing the diameter, and thinning the sidewalls of the shell case.
From our drawing operations, they go to heading. In the heading operations, in our heading presses, we are putting the primer pocket and also the head stamp on every cartridge we build. You'll see Winchester or WW on that head stamp, and you'll also see the caliber designation. From heading, we cut the extractor groove in each shell case. We do that in high-speed lathes, and then we pass them through to our reducing operation. So we put that shell case taper to it, and we also cut the shell case to length. We then move into capping. This is where we take that shell case, we punch the pierce hole into each shell case, and then we put the primer in it.
So in the case of producing handgun projectiles, that all starts very similar to the shell case process. Once the jacket's been produced, next we have to produce the lead core for that projectile. That all starts by receiving the raw material of the lead pigs, which we would melt down and cast into billets and ultimately extrude into wire. Once that wire is extruded, we would then swage those cores into their final dimensions and weights, ready to go into bullet assembly. In bullet assembly, this is where we're taking the bullet jacket and bullet core and performing sequential operations to form that into its final configuration.
The FMJ type, which is what most people go out and shoot on the range, that's where you've got a jacket over the nose of the bullet. It's normally a copper jacket with a lead core inside of it. We also build some products that are completely lead free, where we use a zinc core inside of that bullet, but multiple tools in there, multiple different operations to give it that round nose shape that you see on our FMJ bullets. But we also build jacketed hollow points. We build bonded jacketed hollow points, we build non-bonded jacketed hollow points. The guts that go into those bullets are much the same as an FMJ bullet. It's got a core, it's got a brass bullet jacket. We just assemble them differently, but it still takes multiple operations for a bullet to go from raw materials to a finished shape.
All the primers we use here in Oxford are still fabricated in our East Alton, Illinois facility. We receive those daily and take great care in storing those. All those primers are stored here in high explosive magazines. We pull those out of storage when it's time to move those into the capping bay. Those safety packs store a large quantity of primers, all segregated from one another, and each of those safety pack boards are inserted into a priming machine one at a time to limit the number of primers that are exposed to the machine at any one moment. The final process in Centerfire handgun cartridge manufacturing is our loading process. In the loading process, this is where we take our primed shell cases, projectiles, and propellant and combine them all into a final finished product.
Many of these operations we do at a relatively high rate of speed, and from our loading operations we then go into inspection and packaging. You know, you think about when you go into a store, you have multiple options when you look at Winchester. You may be buying that in a box of 20, a box of 50, a box of 100, or even 200 round range packs now. So we do all that here in our plant. We have multiple different packaging operations where we're taking loaded rounds, inspecting them, some of those with vision equipment. Some of the calibers that we build in smaller volumes still get a lot of hand inspection. But we inspect every round, and then it gets packaged into the 50 round box or the 100 round box or the 200 round box, and then we ship it out to the stores.
When a customer purchases a box of Winchester ammo, they can expect a great experience overall with the performance of our product and our brand. We put a lot of time and effort into the quality of our products. We monitor our quality, so they can definitely expect the product to perform and meet or exceed their expectations.